Okay, hey. So now we're going to do Ezra chapter 7, which is the making of a man of God. Okay. He's a core leader, and I can agree that he's one of the greatest leaders in the revival of the Old Testament. So we're going to recap. 57 years has passed by between chapters 6 and 7. 57 years is a long time. The first generation of Israelites came out of captivity and returned to the promised land to rebuild the temple of God. Though that was through much struggles and very difficult situations, as we remember, but they successfully rebuilt the house of Jerusalem. But only a small remnant were willing to go home. Remember that small remainder of people? Because vast majority of them made themselves comfortable in Babylon. And Babylon was not a good place. They made themselves too comfortable in Babylon. So we're here 57 years later now in this chapter, and the new king Artaxerxes is the king, and Ezra found favor with the king. Ezra had plans to bring a group of new Israelites back to the promised land to continue the work of rebuilding the cities and restore the heart of God's people. Ezra was a teacher, and he was well versed in the law of Moses. Ezra knew that the hand of God was on him. He acknowledged it, and he gave credit to God whenever he could, and he did not take it for himself. I said he was a teacher. Yeah, okay. That plays a critical role in the revival. Ezra was in line to be a high priest. Now, he spent all of his grown-up years in Babylon, which is the not good place. Remember, the bad place? Away. So Babylon was away from all the duties he could perform as a high priest. So he didn't have he was supposed to be in Jerusalem to take up that training to become that high priest, but instead he was in Babylon, away from all those duties. But yet he didn't wait for his time to serve to begin preparing for God's calling. This should say something to us, right? So the key to Ezra's character was that he had devoted himself to the study and observance to the law of the Lord. 3 things that he did. He studied God's word, he obeyed God's word, and he taught God's word. You can't teach it until you lived it, and you can't live it until you studied it. Now this is something that I need to take a pause at real quick. Ezra, that's one of the traits about him that made him stand out in the Bible, because he was about